You talk multiple times about it. In fact, at the end of the book, you say the very first thing you would do if you got to the White House that was different from Joe Biden is you'd make sure Joe Biden's dog was nowhere on the grounds. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Are you doing this to try to look tough? Do you still think that you have a shot at being a VP?
Well, number one, Joe Biden's dog has attacked 24 Secret Service people. So how many people is enough people to be attacked and dangerously hurt before you make a decision on a dog and what to do with it?
Well, he's not living at the White House
That's a question that the president should be held accountable to.
You're saying he should be shot?
That's what the president should be accountable to, is what is the number? And I would say about Republicans criticizing me, these are the same Republicans that criticized me during COVID. They've criticized me when I've made other decisions in South Dakota to protect my state. And my state today is extremely happy and thriving. We're doing well. We've got thousands of people moving to our state because they love the opportunities that are here and the businesses that have come, and how we've gotten to be a state that has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the nation. Everybody has an opportunity for higher wages. We've got revenues and reserves. We've paid off our debt. We've got a AAA credit rating. We've got a fully funded pension system. We were the first state in the nation to
So you're not going
really
to retract the book
and to prevent China.
Governor?
This book is a powerful book. It's an honest book. It's an honest book about blueprint for America of what citizens can do here to take their country back.
Okay.
And I'm so proud of this book and what it will bring to people. I hope that they will buy it. They'll find a lot of truthful stories. And we talk a lot about what you can use as an example from Donald Trump on how he has continued to be a real person, been genuine, and been honest to people. And that what bothers me the most about politicians is when they're
parts
fake.
of it.
I'm not retracting anything.
Okay.
I'm not retracting anything.
So that we're clear, Kristi Noem has now decided that the hill she's going to die on in her desperation to be Donald Trump's vice presidential pick is that she's not only proud of her decision to shoot and kill her own puppy, which she outlined in her upcoming book, but suggests that she would also shoot and kill Joe Biden's dog, saying, "Commander, say hello to Cricket." And of course, Cricket was her own dog, whose life she took. And look, I'm certainly not here to give campaign advice to Republicans, but I feel like this bit of counsel is pretty obvious. Maybe, just maybe, do not predicate your political campaign on murdering puppies, what with it being the archetypical least popular thing on the face of the earth. Like, Kristi, what are you doing, you psycho? And she tries to justify this lunatic position of now threatening the life of Joe Biden's dog by saying that he bit some people. First of all, this is the dog that she's sounding the alarm about. Does this look like a killing machine? Does this look like a dog that needs to die? Now listen to the answer she gives when she's asked about her decision to kill Cricket from the same interview.
You say in the book she came from another family that struggled with her aggression. You'd been training her to hunt. She got too excited, ruined the hunt, and then attacked and killed some chickens. I wonder if you have regrets about sharing this story.
You know, Margaret, this book is filled with vulnerable, painful moments in my life, filled with times where I've made very difficult decisions. The reason that the story is in the book, because people need to understand who I am and some of those difficult decisions. This was a dangerous animal that was killing livestock and attacking people. And I had little children at the time. Our operation had many kids running around and people in interaction with the public. And I made a difficult choice. I think you're a mother too, and you have little kiddos. Would you make a choice between your children or a dangerous animal? And I think I would ask everybody in the country to put themselves in that situation, because that's what I faced. And I talk about it because what I'm tired of in this country is politicians who pretend to be something that they're not. That they aren't willing to have the hard conversations and look at the past and the tough decisions that they've made. What I talk about in the book extensively when people are able to get it on Tuesday is to see the whole story and the truth, not the spin that the media has put on this story. The media has put some or removed most of the facts, and what the reason this is in there is because I want people to know that I don't ask anybody else to take on my responsibilities. I understood my responsibility, and as a mom, I made a choice between protecting my children and protecting them from a dangerous animal that was killing livestock and attacking people. And, and that's the decision that I made.
I described, I think accurately, how you wrote it up in the book. You didn't say the dog attacked people. You said it had tried to bite you. And I just wonder why you concluded that a young dog was untrainable and not just take it to a shelter.
This dog was Well, this dog was a working dog, and it had come from a family that already had issues with this dog.
This lunatic is trying to gaslight the country into thinking that Cricket wasn't a regular dog, he was a working dog. And so she had no choice but to kill him, as if that's how you retire working dogs. I want to be clear, as both a dog lover and a person who has even a cursory understanding of society, there is no actual difference between a working dog and a regular dog. A working dog is just a dog that you've decided would work for you. They are not in a separate category as every other dog, nor is there some rule that when working dogs don't work, they have to be shot and killed. That is some psycho shit. If your quote-unquote working dog isn't working, then bring it to a shelter to be adopted like every other normal human being would. Do not kill it. Just because you've decided that you want it to work doesn't mean that that becomes its life mission and that it has to die if it can't fulfill the obligations that you've imposed on it. I did say that this was some psycho shit, right? And yet, I guess we shouldn't be surprised at two elements of this. First, that while contorting herself to become Trump's VP, that she's trying to seem as heinous, tough, and heartless as humanly possible, because that's Donald Trump's brand. He is a sociopath devoid of human empathy, and so his little supplicants are just imitating him by bragging about, oh, I don't know, shooting puppies, for instance. And second, that she refuses to apologize or even back down an inch, opting instead to double and triple and quadruple down, because Trump, for his part, will never accept blame and admit fault. And so now, in trying to appeal to him, Kristi Noem is taking that exact same route, making what is objectively the worst campaign gaffe that I've ever seen in my life, and going on TV on a daily basis to dig in her heels and insist that actually killing puppies is a good thing. The Trump effect on the Republican Party has turned it into a reprehensible death cult whose only sense of joy or worth is derived from its slavish fealty to the God King. Consider too, the fact that she will say or do anything for some money, by for example selling her book, is also a little nod to Trump. She sees this guy grifting his supporters on a daily basis so they can pay his legal bills, and so she's out here now trying to get rich off the fact that she wrote about killing her own dog. The answer to every question is how you just have to really read the book to get a better understanding of why all of her actions were totally justified. Goes without saying, but no, do not buy her book and help her profit off of the killing of an animal. It's like she saw Donald Trump hawking $400 sneakers or his worthless NFTs to his fans and realized the Republican base will spend its money on quite literally anything. The more reprehensible, the better. Notice too how she says that she's tired of politicians trying to be something that they're not. And look, not for nothing, but if you are a dog killer, that is probably the one thing on earth you should pretend you're not. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to realize that you don't get points for being authentic about killing a puppy. So look, I shouldn't care about any of this because Kristi Noem has almost certainly already fallen out of contention for Trump's VP pick. Even Donald Trump, who himself hates dogs and literally uses dog as a pejorative, can recognize the dismal optics of Noem dying on the hill that is murdering them. It would be 6 months of people calling them the puppy killer ticket, which even for a guy steeped in unforced errors, seems like a stretch. But I felt like it was worth discussing today, if for no reason other than the fact that as far as I'm concerned, there is a special place in hell for people who hurt, mistreat, or kill dogs. You all know by now that I'm not a religious person, but if ever a human being has to answer for what they've done in this life, it should be Kristi Noem for what she did to a poor, defenseless animal. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.